Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today's Thursday, October 15th, and I want to take a look at PCLN here. I'm going to look at a couple different time frames, but I'm going to focus on. I'm going to start with the weekly here. You can see how this week has turned out. It's been absolutely fantastic. But once we hit this upper Bollinger Band on the weekly, the brakes were put on. Okay, so that upgrade didn't work out too well because we've had a major drop to the downside since then of about $54, and it also has come back up 25. So that is telling you it is a fantastic trader. Okay, when you get a Bollinger Band expansion like this wide, okay, PCLN is tradable. It is fun. It is a blast. It is very, very lucrative. Okay, so what are you going to look at here? So we're on the hourly right now. And you can see from the top that they Concord did the upgrade, pushed it up a little bit higher from over here, busted up a little bit more. You can see we came in with this top right here, and then it dropped down to the lower Bollinger Band, and we proceeded to bounce a little bit here pretty nicely, but it's really not having an easy time getting through this middle Bollinger Band, even though today was a massive day. It went from the top of 1332, dropped its $30 to the downside, and then came back. I'm sorry, it was here, 1305, ran up another $30. So this has been a great trader today because we came down from the 1327, came down to 1300, and then back all the way up to 1332. So if you were playing the options and managing the 30-minute chart off of PCLN, you did very, very well today. So you might want to join us if you're not doing this, because it's very lucrative when you have a nice Bollinger Band expansion like this, and they're actually spreading apart even further. But for now, keep an eye on this here, because the middle Bollinger Band is going to be the key to tomorrow. Wondering what's going to happen with tomorrow. It did not get through on a massive day today, but it did have its $30 run to the upside. So we're going to have to see what happens here. While these Bollinger Bands are expanding, you can see the stochastics have crossed up a little bit. Relative strength index is a little bit flat. We could drop this down to the 30 to see what's going to happen tomorrow at open, and I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen at open. We're going to get across. So it looks like your first hour is going to be to the downside on PCLN, and it's going to get a nice little reset here, and off this reset it should bounce from there. But where's it going to bounce? Well, it's going to have the resistance from this candle right here. Okay, and this is why it's having trouble getting through, because you have the trend line in place and the 50 SMA and the upper Bollinger Band on 30-minute. Now you're starting to get a little bit of stuff in the way right here. So you're going to have this bottom to contend with at 1307, and if that breaks, look for it to start heading lower. But it has reversed from this beautiful up channel that it did for us. It has reversed and started angling towards the downside. So we're just going to have to manage this and see what happens. So it looks to me like we're going to be, doesn't have enough power to move up. Bringing it down to a 15-minute chart, same thing. It looks like you're going to get an hour or two to the downside tomorrow on PCLN, and then it's going to decide what's going to happen from there. Yeah, they couldn't push it any higher today, but it has been absolutely a perfect trader for us, and we're going to continue with that. So it looks like the reversal is starting to take place. We're going to have to see what happens on this hourly tomorrow. It looks like it's going to come down and hit this lower Bollinger Band, and maybe even a little bit lower over the next couple of days. So this is going to reset lower. As you can see, your daily has done a great job, and also worked off of this upper Bollinger Band here, from here to here. So this extension is just epic for trading PCLN. You can see a stochastics is definitely crossed. Whoops. Have definitely crossed here. Not saying it can't come up and hit another top, but based on the other charts and time frames, it looks like we're going to pull down first before we have a new base somewhere in here, or we're just going to get a rip your face off to the downside. And as you can see, what we're doing here, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Okay, so it's just going to be it's just the same pattern that's in place right now. And if you check out the trend line on the daily, you say, okay, well, it is broken. So that means we're in a new Dow trend, and this line is actually going to act as resistance. So by this having resistance here, along with everything else on the 15-minute, 30-minute that we showed you, and the 60-minute, you can see that PCLN should be subsiding to the downside, and maybe actually getting ready to rock and roll, because to the downside. But it might wait for Monday based on the market conditions, so it could bounce around a little bit. But now this is going to be a pattern to the downside versus this upside pattern, because we already broke the uptrend. So that uptrend is going to act as resistance now. This is your new trend line right here. The 1208 gap right here is going to be your target. When's that going to hit? I don't know. Maybe right around the 23rd at this current path. So you're going to have to think about that, folks. And while you're dwelling on that, you should check out the ATR on PCLN and figure all that stuff out, because we know it. We play it, we trade it, and we make a lot of money from it. All right, this is Matt. That is your overview on PCLN. If you're not a member, join today. $99 a month, can't beat it. It's great fun, great learning, and you really have some uh, good times with everybody in the chat room. All right, we will see you tomorrow in the chat room, if not for a video on Sunday. Have yourself a great weekend, and I am from milestonecapitalgrowthportfolio.com. Have a great night.